we're very excited to talk about the game that is going to blow everybody's minds. We've been waiting for it for so long. This game is none other than...
Are we talking about the same game?
It's going to bring back this company.
It's going to bring back this company that has fallen so far down a path of disaster. It is Diablo 2 Resurrected.
All right,
Jason,
Jesus Christ,
you've been playing.
Not ready for that.
Yeah, bring it back for us. You're saving Blizzard right now.
Oh my!
You are saving Blizzard.
I'm not going to save Blizzard.
Oh no!
That is a lot of weight on my shoulders. Diablo 2 Resurrection. This is my first time ever playing the game. It was on PC before, and now they re-released it for the consoles and all that jazz. The only Diablo game I played was Diablo 3. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one.
I played a little bit. Yeah,
pretty far.
That one was very console friendly in my eyes. This one is not. This one is really meant for PC and PC only. It's still fun. Like I was going to give this like a really bad review because I was playing it with my fiance Sam, and I was playing as the assassin. And they have I think 6 different characters you can play as, and I decided to pick up the assassin because I thought, hey, I can sneak around and do all this jazz.
What was she playing?
She was playing the warlock, the witch or whatever, who she always plays as, and then she just dominates because she gets so powerful, and it's just me running around just like poke, and she's just fucking blowing up shit, and I'm just like poke, and that's it. But I played a little bit this morning, which I have a little bit of gameplay of. It's I started playing as the shaman or whatever, the necromancer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's pretty fun to play as, but beyond that, the game itself is not console friendly at all. It gets very annoying managing your inventory, trying to like grab something and move it over. If I had a mouse, it'll be like, I can fastly move everything over and just do what I have to do.
So is the menu operating like you have a little cursor, you're moving with your right thumbstick, and you click and hold and you drag it to places.
You drag it to place and place.
Yeah,
and what
that's
sucks
annoying.
is that the touchpad on the console, on the controller for the PS5 won't do it. So a
that's
golden
a missed opportunity.
Wow.
missed opportunity on that. And
I wonder
I'm
if
like,
that's a PlayStation thing.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
That's
it's
a
one of those
Blizzard
things-
fucked up thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, beyond that, like I said, I played a little bit this morning, and I was actually enjoying playing it. I think I just picked the wrong character. The graphics are phenomenal compared to what they used to be. I don't know if y'all saw the older graphics, or if y'all played Diablo 2 before?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
Okay, this game is just the same game but with an upgraded graphic system, and I enjoyed that. It's a little bit more in depth, and the story is not that boring to me. But it just sucks that I got it on console, and it's so hard to map out the buttons and get fresh with it and have like a good play with it. I get bored after a while and get annoyed with the combat system.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have took the UI from Diablo 3 and just put it into this Diablo. I think I would have enjoyed the game much better and just have a better overall time with it. That's my biggest complaint about the game. Everything else story-wise, and the inventory system's weird to me. I know this is how the old one used to be, but it's like it's blocked out, and you had to make room for certain inventory. So if the item's like 4 squares big, you're taking up 4 squares big of that thing of your inventory, and you had to move things around and order it so you can pack it in your book bag.
They don't have an auto pack?
I don't think so.
They probably want to throw that in there.
Yeah, and you have to drag it around and like basically play Tetris with your equipment and make sure everything fits in there. And it gets, I'm not gonna lie, it gets very tedious and very annoying because you'll realize you'll go through a 15-minute battle and you're already full. Your inventory's full.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck, now I have to go back to town. And to teleport back to town is not like Diablo 3 where you can just teleport at any time. You have to have actual scrolls to teleport back and forth.
Right.
And to identify unidentified items, you have to have scrolls for that. So that takes up your inventory as well.
Do you have to, do you find these scrolls or do you make them or buy them?
They spit them out like candy, like Reese pieces everywhere.
But they
Every time
take
you kill
up
someone.
inventory.
But they take up inventory space. So majority of my time playing this game, I'm 15 minutes stuck in the middle of a map trying to figure out what's going to go where and how I'm going to rearrange it. And is this an item worth keeping?
And they're not so if you have like 5 scrolls, they don't stack on top of each other.
Nope.
They're each one it takes up 5 squares.
Yeah, it takes up 5 squares. The only thing that stacks on top of each other is the keys that you can find, which I still don't know how to fucking use sometimes. But also, if you get a book, you can put scrolls in the book. But the book takes up 3 spaces. Mm-hmm. So you can get a book for scrolls. You can get a book for identifying unidentified items until you unlock Decker Kane. And then you can have him do it for free. But the only issue with that is that you have to teleport all the way back to town, and you're wasting teleportation scrolls. So you have to really manage what you're going to do. And I find that very tedious and annoying.
So you think more than you need to.
Yeah, you think a lot more. Compared to Diablo 3, you had to really think a lot more on your plan of attack and what you're gonna keep and what you're not gonna keep, and is it worth going back to town to keep or sell, or something like that. Because your inventory is small, you can make it a little bit bigger, but I don't think it's gonna help much. I still feel super weak playing it, but I've been playing Diablo 3 for so long. I'm on adventure mode, Torment 12 or whatever, and I'm wrecking shit still, but I'm still enjoying it.
Yeah,
but I highly recommend to play around with all the characters that you have because, like I said, I played it the first time, and Sam and I are almost done with Act 1, and I am not liking it. But I started a new character this morning, and I really love this character I'm playing as. So it really depends on the character you play. And there's also no dodge either, which I find that annoying because that's what I did a lot with Diablo 3. I can hit circle and dodge out of the way from attack. This time you can carry a shield and hopefully you can get a block and not get hit. But you can get killed really fast. But the graphics are outstanding and beautiful. Only problem is on PS5 sometimes there's a stutter almost where it like stops and keeps going, and you can tell it's just a slight stutter. And Sam said she decreased her performance mode and it helped out a lot. So I haven't done that yet. I still want to
like switch from resolution to performance.
Yeah. So she said that helped out a lot. But you can walk into a battle, and if you're not fully prepared, you can get your ass stomped real quick. So you have to be very wary on this. And we haven't had enough people because you can play up to with 8 players in an online session, which is cool. And then also you can have an online character and an offline character, which is you can play around with that too.
What do you do when it comes to, because we're watching a video on YouTube of like when you go up to like a dead body and it's like all the inventory items that are there like scatter up on the screen. It's like things you can click on to pick up. How does it work on console with that?
On console, you'll just hover over it in the because you'll see what it is like on the not on the map, but on the screen it'll say like staff or whatever. You walk over it, and once it highlights blue, that's the item you're picking up.
Oh,
that makes sense. So you're
basically not using your mouse cursor. You're like moving your character
running,
to
it. You're running over it and
one
picking
at a
it
time,
up. But
basically.
that gets really annoying, especially if you're playing with another character another person because you share the loot. So there's no individual loot either. So when Sam and I are playing, Sam was fucking wrecking shit, and then she just runs by, just grabs everything. I'm like, God, okay. And then we divvy out the loot later on, but it's kind of like. Okay, so I started doing it to her, and she's like, you stole all my gold. And I was just like, oh, I'm sorry. Because with the gold, you just run past it and you automatically pick it up.
I see.
So, but visually, the game is outstanding. The storyline is Diablo 2. From what everyone tells me, it's amazing. So far, I'm enjoying it, but I think I'm going to restart and play as a different character now instead of the assassin. And there's no customizing your character either.
Right.
Just like Diablo 2, you can't make them male, female, or whatever.
Like Diablo 3,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's a set character. The armor that you pick up will change. So if you pick up an armor, it will change how your character looks, but you can't change anything about it. There's no transmog in this game. But if it has a socket, you can equip a diamond or a ruby in there, and it will change the color of it, and plus give you a bonus as well.
Yeah.
So, but
this is one of those games like it's so old and so well known. Mm-hmm. You know, you can have a lot of people come back to it because nostalgia. It's like, how much do you change to make it more current gen, like things we're used to, but try to keep that old feel to it? Obviously, you can have settings. I mean, it looks like that you can go from like the old graphics to the new graphics in this game. Can you?
That I don't know.
I think we saw in this video.
He just
at the
switched
beginning.
over
I don't
to
know
the
if they have
graphics.
that or not.
Well,
But, I mean, they
know
probably would. They did it with
everything
StarCraft.
in this game is exactly the same as Diablo 2. Because
Right.
Nick, one of the listeners on here and part of the community, he came over, he played it for a little bit, and he was showing Sam hidden holes that you can find, like hidden treasures.
Right.
Oh.
And Sam's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm surprised he remembers all that. And I was just like, so it's exactly the same. And Sam's like, yeah, it's exactly as the old
Yeah.
game, just
Yeah.
updated graphics, and that's it. So
Yeah.
there's no,
Which is nice.
yeah, which is amazing. I mean, to me, because I think it was like $30. I think it's not worth the price range. I think there should be a drop, like 20, maybe $15 for this game. I wouldn't pay full price for this at all. I mean, like Austin said, it's nostalgia. I mean,
Yeah.
if you only want it for the updated graphics, then go ahead. But that's the only thing you're getting out of
Like
it.
I talked to Travis, I was like, "Hey man, you gonna get this? Because new graphics stuff." He's like, "I already played that game. I'm not playing it again."
Yeah.
Well, and
I was like, "Dang."
that's the big problem I have with like remastered versus remakes right now is that there's a lot of remasters coming out. There's not many remakes. Like Final Fantasy VII was like the one that's like, this is a full blown remake. We had Spyro the Dragon that was basically remade and stuff like that. So there's games that are, when they're remade, I like those because they're taking time to not only improve the graphics and make them amazing, but they're fixing all the quality of life stuff that we now take for granted and putting it in the game.
Yeah.
But with these remasters, I'm like, I kind of would like to do without them. I mean, especially hearing you now with Diablo 2 Resurrected, which I mean, you haven't played Diablo 2 before, and you're playing on console. So like, there's two barriers of entry there that are holding you back. So for new players coming into this, like, unless you play Diablo 2, that's the audience they're catering to at this point. I feel like that's going to enjoy this experience.
I mean, I wouldn't get it because I never played it.
Yeah,
I
I
like
think
Diablo 3.
Yeah.
But I think
mean-
that's what they're hitting on is like people. It's an old game, and how long they take to come out with the third one. No one's played this one, and everyone loves the third one. I feel like they came out with this for those people that played the third one and never got a chance to play the second one.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned that like you, Austin, are gonna have the same concerns. Like jumping in this, be like, well, I mean, that's what I saw articles coming out. Like Otaku put out an article. It's like Diablo 2 just makes you want to go back and play Diablo
And
3.
that's a true statement.
You know, 'cause it's like you're
Yeah.
going back to what I mean. There's so many quality of life things that were added into 3
so.
Yeah.
that you are going to miss by playing this. I mean, the
Right.
story may be amazing, but
Right.
there's so many other pieces that are just not going to be there.
Yeah. And it's one of those things. If I really want to know the story, I can just watch a video. It's going to put it all out.
Right.
Like an hour-long video.
Yeah, and the gameplay, well, not the gameplay, but the cinematics for this are visually just outstanding. I really love those as well. But I guess I guess I can see what you're saying because this does make me want to go back and play Diablo 3 like pretty badly.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I look at
I
Sam.
wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, I look at Sam and I'm like, can we play Diablo 3 now? Just like I just miss it so much. But
Yeah.
it's not a bad game. I think since I switched the character over, I think I'm going to enjoy it more instead of the character I'm playing as now. I'm going to give that a chance because this is something that Sam and I. This is the only reason why I got a second PS4 back in the day because Sam and I were dating and we got Diablo 3. She bought it and she's like, I want to play it. I was like, all right, cool. We can sit down and do couch co-op. But
Yeah.
when you do couch co-op, only one person can be in their menu at a time. And I'm like, fuck this.
Very annoying.
I'm
Yeah.
buying a PS4 Pro. You can have my old one. And it just went from there.
Heck yeah.
So, but
That's
yeah.
how you do it, man.
But yeah, I don't.
So maybe pass on this one.
I think so. I think not at the price range that it is now, and just wait for a price drop.
$30 is pretty cheap for
It
games
is
these
for-
days.
Yeah, it is, but I think it's still not worth that price point. And plus, you have to log on to if you don't have a Blizzard account, you need to create one as well. So I don't know why that is because it saves your online character on their server.
It's for the cross progression, I think.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
it is?
probably.
Okay.
So you can link it over. So that's the thing too. It's like annoying about this. It's like I would love to play with you guys, but I don't want to play this on console.
Yeah,
like I want to play it on PC, but they don't have cross play. They only have cross progression.
Yeah, which is annoying. I
dumb.
don't. We're in a time now where this game would be perfect for a crossplay. I don't know if there's some issues about doing that with this
I think
style
there
of
might
game.
be. Just
think
because
so?
it's a remaster, it's not a remake. If they were to remake it, maybe they could integrate those things. But
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of them just kind of take the same code and then adjust it and bring in some kind of thing and that translates it into something more current. I don't know.
Nerd shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nerd shit.
Nerd
Yeah.
shit.
I love
If you remake
nerd
it from the
shit.
ground up, then you can do a lot of cool stuff like that.
So do you think that they should have just did a remake instead of a remaster?
I don't know.
I think they should have did a remake.
I feel like they should have too, because like Diablo 2 is definitely, I mean, Diablo 1 was a great introduction to the series, but Diablo 2 is known as, even after Diablo 3 came out, people kept referring back to Diablo 2 as the great one.
Oh, yeah.
Because like Diablo 3 had so many problems, especially early on when it came out, and they had like a lot of launch issues and stuff. But Diablo 2 is amazing, but I just don't think Resurrect. I mean, they should have learned from Warcraft Reforged when that came out of like how that just like missed the mark, and they made a bunch of bad decisions with that. They should have taken the time to really build it
That
out.
was just something different.
Yeah,
Like so completely different and horrible.
yeah.
I mean, they didn't drop the ball. They obliterated that ball.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Lord.
Well, then it sucked for people that because they like didn't they shut down the old servers too, so you can only play the new version. Yeah, so that was
Oh, yeah, and
annoying.
if you if you had the original version that just upgraded you to the new one, so you can't even go back. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you couldn't go back
Oh
to the
my
old one,
God.
and the new one was so shitty that they were like, people that wanted to go back to play the original that was not shitty are now locked out of it for good.
Jeez.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it was a rough transition there.
What
but
about the Diablo mobile game? What happened with that?
Only in China, I'm sure.
do you have a phone? No, they haven't brought it out yet. So
haven't
it
brought
got
it out
it got
yet?
delayed, I think.
Don't you have a phone?
Yeah, Diablo Immortals. No, fuck that game.
Right now, I'm just hoping for Diablo 4.
Yeah,
That's the only thing that's going to save me.
I hope it's good.
It
Play
looks
Diablo.
good, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if they can. We'll see if Blizzard's still around. But
That's true. Yeah, they might not be able to.
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
Oh, what's happening to Blizzard now is, I mean, at this point, they need to be a new company.
Jesus.
Like, they can't be Blizzard
yeah.
anymore.
I'd be so. I mean, because they've lost so many like key players for Overwatch 2, which is like
Yeah,
the
that's
only
what-
like big game that they've had that's like succeeding. Because Diablo's had a lot of issues. World of Warcraft has a lot of issues. Hearthstone, I think people are still playing Hearthstone, but it's like I don't know. I'm surprised that game's still surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
StarCraft hasn't brought out anything new in forever, except for that StarCraft cartoony version that they brought out that was basically StarCraft just with cartoon characters. But I don't know. It's a bummer. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.